Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to more 428 Shibuya Scramble. My name is Raven from the Sky, and let's continue. So bad ending after bad ending. For some reason, Kenan doesn't pick up. I wonder is that because the bomb goes off? But the thing is, we have to. Did he set off the bomb before he came to the scramble, or why? But when you get the bad ending with Kano, it's because of an explosion somewhere. So I think he already has bombs in place. Like I said, he has a backup plan. Why would he just show up there oozing confidence by himself? That's just ace in the hole. So what I'm gonna do is I'm jump to Aichi. Maybe that can break the mode, because we just keep getting bad ending after bad ending after bad ending. And then they're not giving hints after 1800, which makes me believe we're near the end of the game. So now there's no hint. So now it's like, it's what the heck? Was this guy Alphard? The man arrived in front of Hitomi and began speaking to her. Hitomi, Maria, even Aichi's father. This must be the guy who was responsible for everything. Aichi felt a pressing urge to flatten him right then and there. Still, he knew he couldn't blow his cover until Kano gave the signal. Suppressing his raw emotions, he readied himself for action. He hurt me, and I hurt him back. That bill's gonna come due. Protecting Hitomi has to come first. I can't let anything happen to her. I have to set aside my hatred. Right now, I need to just focus on catching this guy. Why hasn't it happened yet? Why hasn't Kano given the signal? Freeze! Suddenly, Kano rushed forward, his gun drawn. Ignoring the pain in his leg, Aichi dashed for Hitomi as fast as he could, cutting between Kano and Alfred, quickly pulling Hitomi out of danger. Hitomi! Kano shouted. Call Kenan again. Shielded by Aichi now, she brought up her cell phone and dialed the number. Some time passed and there was no answer. Had they been in some kind of trouble? On Kenan's end, looking increasingly worried, Hitomi tried calling several more times. He had already been, okay, now I think about it, of course, he'd already been to the lab. That's why he got the cure. And he probably already booby-trapped the lab because he knew that they were going to go there looking for him, trying to stop him. But, I don't know. I feel like there's a way to avoid the bad endings, you know what I mean? Then Alfred withdrew some strange vials and attached against his brought. Kano's face wavered with alarm. This had to be the terrorist trump card then. Yeah, and those bombs are. Kano and Alfred were having some sort of debate. She couldn't hear the specifics, but tensions were clearly running high. Kano hesitantly lowered his gun. See, it's still a bad ending. Flashed a haughty, confident grin. It's like it's time for our trump card. Susumu, Aichi shouted at the top of his lungs. The signal the gang emerged from the crowd, moved in massive. To him, Alfred in. Surrounded. Now the terrorist was obviously at a loss. You certainly don't look like police. You're right about that, Aichi said. I mean, just take a look. I gathered up a bunch of people who love Shibuya more than anyone. Blah, we already heard this. Lost? Me? Well, it sure doesn't look like you're going to get away. I see, then it appears our negotiations are at a close. Why did he still seem so confident? Something definitely didn't feel right. This is just a bluff. He knows he can't get away. He really doesn't care if he survives. It's not a bluff. Oh no. He was going to unleash the virus, accepting that it would kill him too. Alfred met Aichi's eyes, and seeing the haunted realization there, the terrors flashed a wicked and triumphant grin. Enough of the high and mighty axe, Susumu shied up. He began to stomp toward Alfred, but he didn't reach him in time. Yep. Bad ending again, just from another perspective. Boom. Catch him, catch him, catch him. Then the bomb goes off. Boom. Oh my God, man. What the heck? Ruptured, and his world was engulfed in eerie silence as if time had stopped. As he lay crumpled on the pavement, the one thing that still rang in his ears was the tinkling of glass, countless vials smashed on the concrete. Oh my God, man. A mysterious explosion. How? I'm trying to do this without YouTube. But if I get stuck at this, I'm stuck here at some other objective. He set up the kidnapping, devised the ransom relay, and kept, there it is, at least on that. All the while, Alfred himself was working towards his true goal, getting Hitomi's blood, which meant that Daisuke kidnapping Maria by mistake had in fact been a misstep. That was why, in the end, Alfred had proposed trading the password for Hitomi's blood. Could that really be it? Stanley decided to take it up with the old man himself. With the man himself, Mr. Endo, let me ask you a question. Did you know Hitomi had a twin sister? No. I'm going too fast, just pause the video, but if you've been watching, you've already seen this dialogue. Just trying to figure out how to get past these bad endings. to head to the lab. Even assuming that Alfred really did turn up at the scramble. Smoke screen. How? It only made sense, and Stanley could only think of one reason to release the threat. To turn Shibuya into ground zero for a pandemic that would sweep through all of Tokyo. A virus with a mortality rate of 100% would have spread throughout the region before anyone realized it. It would be impossible even to calculate the scope of such a disaster. First, it would run the circuit around the Yamanote line, and then if any of the infected had happened to head to the airports at either Haneda or Narita, the virus would spread throughout Japan and the rest of the world in a matter of hours. But that hadn't come to pass. They managed to secure Maria before she could develop symptoms and become infectious. Is that because we were better than Alfred? No, that can't be it. Alfred wasn't the sort to commit such indiscriminate acts of terror. The threat of infection spreading, horrific as it was likely just cover to hide some other scheme. But then, what was the ultimate goal? Stanley still didn't have enough clues to go on. Stanley made his way behind the stack of cardboard boxes. He spotted something that had fallen onto the floor. It was a cell phone. Next to it was a woman's handbag. Stanley unzipped it, held a jumble of makeup, tissues, and other personal effects, but nothing at all unusual. If he was going to find any clues here, it would probably have to be from the cell phone. All right, so this is the right choice. He tried turning it on, and of course nothing. There was no response. Who knows how long it's been there? Thing's dead. It appeared to be broken. Let me see that suitcase there from behind him. I'll see if I can fix it. Do you think you can? Stanley asked as he handed it over. I won't know until I try. But that sign out front saying that I run an electronics shop isn't just for show. Turning his attention back to the handbag, Stanley searched it more thoroughly and found a photograph tucked inside that he'd overlooked on his first inspection. What the hell? He stared at the image, swallowing the lump in his throat. Keep out. Okay. That changed the whole doggone. Trying to think here. I got a bad feeling. I'm gonna try it. Let me see. seen this one. Last video before last. Okay, that stops there. What the heck? Keep out, keep out, keep out. Bad ending. Boom. You would think it would pop back up. I don't understand. As he did, he caught sight of Palmer speeding away. Kano made up his mind on the spot. There was only one right call here, as he needed to make it. He had to protect the lives of the people nearby. He had to chase after Palmer. God! Another executive decision. Chase after Palmer. It didn't matter if he didn't grab the vial. Something about the way this was playing out made Kano sure of it. Calling upon all his rugby training, he broke into a sprint. Deftly dodging through the crowd, Kano kept Palmer in sight. He would catch him, one way or another. He was going to bring this bastard down. Steadily, he gained on his quarry. At last, he drew within striking range and immediately dived into expert tackle. He caught Palmer around the waist. Their bodies collided with violent force. Oof! Palmer went down, flailing and hit the pavement hard. Even then, he tried to resist, but Kano straddled him and held him down. Tell me the password, Kano snarled. The kidnapper sneered triumphantly. He made the wrong choice. What? Wrong choice? The UA is out now. Now nobody can be saved. You just killed everyone in the city. No, Kano shot back. Nobody's gonna die. What makes you so sure of that? The way you fled the scene just now? If the virus had really been in those vials, you would never have hoped to escape infection. Running off on foot would be pointless. Palmer said nothing, which means there was no virus in those vials. They was just a decoy in order to buy you time to escape. Now, Palmer gritted his teeth and glared up at Kano. The look in his face confirmed the detective's hunch. Yes! So they were fake. But more importantly, it was your eyes. You didn't have the eyes of a man who was putting his life on the line. My eyes? Who do you think you are, Sherlock Holmes? I know full well the look in a man's eyes when he's willing to die. In the back of his mind, Kano replayed the moment when Totino doused in gasoline. Had marched into that financial office to talk down a would-be arsonist. Now then, the password. Give it to me now. Kano tightened his grip on Palmer's collar, but the man just gazed back at him with an icy glare. Let me have Hitomi Asawa's blood. That was our original deal. Kano wasn't surprised. He'd known it wouldn't be easy to get him to talk. Maybe it would be impossible to strike a deal without Kanemi. But if getting her on the phone wasn't an option, Kano had to figure out something else. Sweat beaded on his brow as he cast about for ideas. Then he happened to catch sight of a car that had been overturned by an accident nearby. Gasoline had spilled from the vehicle, creating a broad, dark puddle on the pavement. Kano took out his handcuffs and cuffed Palmer's arm to his own. Come with me. Jerking his captive back to his feet, Kano led him over to the car. Then, without hesitation, he sat down in the pool of gasoline. Yanking on the handcuffs, he pulled Palmer down beside him. Kano pulled a lighter from his pocket. Palmer snorted. And just what this is supposed to be, Tell me the password. Or else what, you'll light the gas? You'll be burned to a crisp yourself. Yeah, probably. Kano heard the casual desperation in his own voice. What the heck are you thinking? The smile vanished from Palmer's face. Kano scowled down to him. I just want to know the password. I'm getting revenge for my partner. Even if I die, my friends will avenge me. I'm gonna go with A. I just want to know the password. If that's really what you're after, then you can't kill me. Palmer and Kano locked eyes. Both refusing to back down, the scent of gasoline fumes filled the air around them. Kano knew that the slightest spark would set off a massive fireball. No way! Did he do it? Calmly, he flicked the lighter on. You can't be serious. Palmer's eyes fixed on the tiny flicker of flame. The password. You value your life so little? The password. In his mind, Kano could see the pages of the Dick diary clear as day. Dictum number 1. Never lose sight of what you're supposed to protect. Ever. Palmer glared in defiance. Kano brought the lighter closer and closer to the gasoline. He could practically feel his own life growing shorter as his hand descended. And yet, he felt no trace of fear. His body was numb, his senses strangely distant. Time seemed to slow, the world around him dissolved into a blur. He was surprised at how calm, how remote he felt. Here in the midst of his life or death, confrontation, and then, far in the depths of Palmer's eyes, he saw the barest hint of doubt. He fixed his gaze on the point of weakness and did not look away. Palmer's shoulders slumped perceptibly. Now, Kano was certain of it. This was a man who never put his life on the line before. Yeah, this guy was all bark and no bite. He was just cocky. Shizu's words sounded in the back of his mind. You need a cool mind, but a fiery spirit. Detective without both of those is worth nothing. Let me go. Promise to let me go, and I'll tell you. Is that your answer? I don't think you quite understand the situation here. Brought the flame still close to the gasoline. Palmer's eyes went wide. No longer was he able to hide his trembling uncertainty. All right. I'll tell you. Just put that thing out. The password first. His voice a strangled snarl. Palmer gave him the password. Kano extinguished the lighter. Wow! Pulling out his cell phone, Kano dialed up Osawa. As he did, he recalled the last exchange with Stanley at the electronics shop. Photo of Maria standing next to another young girl. There was something written. Me and Kanan, 7:30. July 30th. Stanley hurried, flipped the photo back over and looked at it again. What does this mean? The girl in the photo with Maria looked nothing like Kanan, the Kanan who had been there at Endo Electronics, who had left with Maria and Totino just a few minutes ago. What? But if the girl they were working with wasn't Kanan, then who was she? Oh my God. Number. I mean, no. Stanley felt his blood run cold. Could she be? Was she Alphard? No. Now you've got me in a loop. Get out. That would explain the bad endings. She wasn't picking up the phone, the explosions. The more he thought about it, the more it all added up. Assuming Alphard were masquerading as Kanan, the whole sequence of events suddenly began to make sense. She was strikingly audacious and fiendishly clever, but she hadn't outmaneuvered them just yet. As luck would have it, they still had a chance to stop her. And at long last, Stanley could see the outline of Alfred's plan. I thought the teacher was Alfred. Her goal was to get the antiviral. But extracting the DDS from Hitomi's blood wasn't enough. Okashi Pharmaceuticals still had the drug at their laboratory. The antiviral's value came specifically from having a monopoly on it, which meant that in addition to obtaining the drug herself, Alfred also needed to destroy Okashi's research facilities. That was the crux of her plan. The problem was finding a way to infiltrate the facilities. But she found that by hacking the door. Maybe that, oh my God! In all likelihood, Alfred's scheme was something like this. Have Maria side then infect with the virus. After that, eliminate Tanaka. Once Osawa learned that Maria had been infected with the virus, he was certain to use the antiviral on her. But he'd need his partner, Tanaka, in order to access the storage facility, and Tanaka was dead. That was why Alfred had been masquerading as Kanan. Kanan was Maria's friend and an expert at hacking passwords. If she could secure Osawa's trust, he would let her into the research facility in order to carry out the hack. Oh my God, it's her! That's why Alfred, in the guise of Kanan, had saved Hitomi's life repeatedly to gain trust. That way she could get access. Jesus Christ. Literally a mole the whole time. Getting Hitomi to trust her would likewise earn the trust of her father. Correct. There were still some finer details that remained a mystery. For instance, How was Alfred going to destroy the lab? Still, Stanley could look into that once he had her in custody. He needed to move quickly and stop her from ever getting into the Okashi facility. That's why he kept getting those bad endings. That's why I couldn't figure out what the heck. It's her. And it's because she had access to the lab, she blew it up. That's why when they called her at the scramble, she wasn't answering. I fixed it. Daisuke approached Stanley and held out Maria's cell phone. Well, as best as I could at any rate. Looks like it'll get a signal, but whatever data was on it is all gone. I see. Stanley took the phone and put it in his pocket. He'd hoped he might be able to learn something useful from it, but luck evidently wasn't on his side. It's not. He was just going to have to go up against Alfred with what he already had. And what's sad is Alfred's in the car with Tateno. Already on his way to the lab. Her way. Now that he guessed what was really going on, Stanley went to talk to Kano. You need to go to the scramble without me, he said. What? Kano was visibly shocked. Where's this coming from all of a sudden? Please, don't ask me to explain. Something else has come up, and I have to see to it. Stanley hated having to do this. He wished he could explain everything, but if he made any unusual moves now, there was a risk that Alfred would pick up on it. It's better to keep blah, blah, blah. I understand, Kano said. Do what you have to, and come back soon. I'm sorry. I wish I could tell you more. It's all right. Gave him a thumbs. Let me just make sure, because it's the same thing. Okay, no, we're good. The sight brought back some painful memories. Up until just a few hours ago, Stanley had instinctively seen Kano as all too naive, and now, okay. So we've already played through this. I'll play through this again. Oh, quickly explained suspicions about Kanan. Tateno sounded distinctly unnerved. At any rate, Stanley said, you need to find a way to turn back without her realizing what's going on. Will do, Tateno replied. So, he was going to head to the laboratory despite Stanley's instructions. Saving Maria is your top priority, isn't it? That's right. Detectives' information was firm. All right then. Guess I'll have to head that way myself. In the meantime, do not let her inside that lab. Tina was no match for Alpha. She figured out what was going on. She'd probably kill him on the spot. Reassurance or encouragement would be meaningless right now. Instead, Stanley left. If it comes down to it, just shoot her. If you hesitate for a moment, she'll have you dead. Find some way to stall until I get there. If she realizes we're on to her, you're done for. Just keep Maria safe. That's your job. So we back with the same three choices. Find some way to stall until I get there. She realizes it's B or C. I don't think it's A. It's B or C. I think I'm gonna go with C. Just keep Maria safe when he hangs up. Area around Dogenzaki was in disarray. The government had declared a state of high alert. People in the street were milling around uneasily, unsure just what was going on. The main roads had been blocked off, and automobiles and motorcycles were at a standstill. Some vehicles had overturned on the curb in an apparent attempt to circumvent any moment now. Kano's team would be putting their plan in action at the scramble. Stanley wasn't sure who they might have gotten to help, but Kano was certain to put them to good use. Please stay safe. Don't you dare die on me. Stanley prayed silently as he darted underneath the railway overpass. He made it to his car, still parked on the roadside, and fortunately beyond the blocked off area. Jumping in, he sped off toward the laboratory. As he drove along, Stanley again tried to deduce Alfred's plan of action. If Alfred herself was on the way to the lab now, then what was the objective of the fake who'd been sent to the scramble? A call came in from Tatino. Stanley here. He picked up quickly, but as he did, he wondered, why was Tatino calling him? Alfred was right there. There was no way the detective should be risking a phone call. What's going on? Tatino said nothing. Stanley repeated the question. Still, Tatino did not reply. Uh-oh. Stanley's apprehension spread like a droplet of ink in water. Hey! Has something happened? Hey! Answer me! The call cut out. Stanley hurriedly dialed Tatino's number, but couldn't get through. Something had gone badly wrong, he was sure of it. Had he been too arrogant in thinking that he might be a match for Alfred? His worries turned to the team at the scramble. What if he had walked into a trap? Fearing that it would be too dangerous to call Kano in the midst of the negotiations, Stanley instead dialed up Aichi. Jump yet. This is Stanley, what's going on? Stanley's relief, it sounded like things down at the scramble had gone well enough, so he asked Aichi to put him on the phone with Kano. Yeah, give me a sec. Detective. Stanley could hear Aichi shouting on the other end. I've got Stanley on the line. He said that Detective Tatino. Oh, shoot, bad ending. Shucks. Hold up. Boom. So do I have to do this again? I probably have to do it again. Again and again and again, slammed his fist. Then stopped even when his fist was marred with blood. Bad ending. Of course. Call cut short. Alright guys, thanks for watching. My name is Raven from the Sky. If you enjoyed the episode, do me a favor and drop a like and subscribe to the channel and the series grow. Take care, and I'll catch you guys in the next episode. Peace. Man, we just getting bad ending after bad ending after bad ending.